Hello once again, folks. Welcome back to the channel. We've got I am still cracking on with the Escort, slowly doing little jobs, but today's video is I've been sent a toy to set up and have a play with. I'm gonna set it up in the little MX-5 of mine, because that's the car I use the most. It is my everyday driver, and we'll be back on the road next month once they stop salting the roads. So the video is all about how that works, how easy it is to set up, and how usable it is. And it is a nice little bit of kit, to be fair. Of course, I'm saying that because it's been sent to me to test it, but I can't see anything wrong with it, if I'm honest. So it's I'm quite happy to say it's a nice little bit of kit to use. So not the usual video, but I hope you enjoy it. And I'll give you a quick swing around now and give you a little quick update on the Escort before we go into it. So as you can see, she's up on stands. I've got tyres on the wheels now, and I'm partway through getting the wheels painted, so I'll show you those. These have come out. That's quite a nice colour, quite like the gold wheels. So I've got one left of those to do. I got a job underneath here I need to do, because when it's sat down, because it's been lowered, that anti-roll bar there is actually catching on the bottom of the wing there, on the lip, as it's coming up. So I need to either get an anti-dive kit, which will bring this lot down about 25 mil, or think about making my own way of doing that. So that's on my to-do list. Under the bonnet, we are making progress. So we're looking a bit tidy underneath here. I need to make a little vacuum log to connect up the vacuum signal from the carbs to the ESCI unit for the ignition, so it gets a better. At the moment the signal's very pulsy, so a bit of copper pipework might get involved with that. But we're all pretty much ready to go. Just waiting now, like I said, same with the Mazda, just waiting for them to stop salting the roads, then we can get on the road and get tested to see how things work. So other than that, no major updates. We're still as we were before. Still got a couple of jobs left to do in here. Put some leather over those arches and make something to fill up that gap there. But it is coming together very, very slowly. But that, we'll come back to that in a later video. Okay, so here it is, the smart screen that I've been sent to trial and do a product review on. So let's open it up and see what we got inside. Right, so then, so let's see what we got inside. Very nicely packaged, so that's good. It'll be nicely looked after during transit. Very nice. Got a bracket on the back there for fixing it down. Looks like a sticky pad, I guess, which is quite flexible, so it will fit around your dashboards or wherever you want to put it. Okay, let's see what else we got in the box. Camera kit, that's good. So, reversing camera, excellent. The mount kit. Guess that will fit in behind there somehow. Let's have a look. I see. That clips on and off of there. So you can mount it from your screen. Power cable from a cigarette lighter. And extra sticky pads, and that's a nice touch as well. You've got a little gadget for pulling things apart with trim panels and stuff. That's a nice little tool to add. Extension jack cable. I presume there's a jack input. Oh, there are. So in there we've got a auxiliary jack input, SD card reader, AV, which would be from the camera, and Type C supply. What we got there? This is a thing for that to stick to wherever you're going to put that. Okay. So in all, we got our screen, our brackets to fit it to the car with, and camera and supply. These tend to wire into the reversing lights to turn them on usually. And that, and I presume we're going to have some sort of instruction book. Now, user manual, which refreshingly isn't a million pages long. It is just nice and straightforward with QR code as well. I guess they'll take us onto some sort of website to show us what to do with it. Excellent. Okay, let's go play with it. Righto, welcome to my little MX-5, which is where this little gadget's going to go. I do have a gaping hole there, which used to be a doubled-in stereo in, which one of those cheapo ones from eBay that lasts about 12 seconds, then drop dead when a little bit of moisture gets into them. Hopefully this will be a bit more long-lived. It's a bit more expensive than the cheapo eBay jobs. He's a bit better bit of kit. So I've got a couple of options. Try and find a way of mounting it there, which is what I think I'd like to do in the long term. But the mounting gadgets we got is that, which is I'm not gonna be able to do anything with that in there. And possibly I can do something with this to sort of, wedge it up in here somehow. Or probably better, I'll make a dedicated thing for it somewhere down the line. So in the meantime, it can go up there, which is what this bracket here is for. So it's got a sticky pad underneath and stick it up on there. So you'll get some panel wipe, give that a wipe down and stick it up under there. Okay, let's see how I can do this one-handed. It's important to do that, otherwise any sort of silicone or anything that's left on there from previous dash cleanings and messing around is going to interfere with the stickiness of it. Right, so hopefully that's not going to crack my dash down later on down the line. Right, then let's see if we can get this off of here, which I doubt I'm going to be able to do one-handed, so I may have to turn the video off and come back. I might be able to use my knee as a second hand. Come on, I can do it. Here we go. Not only doing it one-handed, I'm doing it left-handed. Okay. I can't stick myself. All right, okay. So, center of the dash, which is there. And the beauty of this is, of course, is because it all clips on, you can use it in different vehicles because there's no hard wiring. It's all just plugged in through a USB socket. So we can use it in this car. We can use it in Claire's MX-5, which she now has. She's ditched out a 500 and bought herself an MX-5. And we also have one of them has joined the fleet, a little split screen. So we'll come back to that in another video one day. So this could be used in all of those vehicles and in the Escort, of course, but I think it will look massively out of place in the Escort. Right, let's see if I can get that onto there. Lovely. Okay, let's turn it on. There it goes. There's a nice clear screen on it, which is good. So you've got a CarPlay option, so we can connect up our phones to that. I won't do that just now because I'm using the phone as a to video it, so I might have to get Mrs. Dave's phone to demonstrate that. The other interesting thing is the audio output option on it, which can be done via your car radio. So you can set your FM frequency, then you can tune your car radio into it, so you got a decent output then. Or you've got an auxiliary output option. And also, which is nice, it's very intuitive, it tells you everything and how to do it, and how clearly you can see that on the screen. But you've got a little picture of the dashboard in there, and that's what this auxiliary cable is for. Where's it got? This one here. So you can plug that into your radio, or you've got a Bluetooth output as well on it. For most modern vehicles have Bluetooth output. There is a built-in speaker on it, which you can oh, people are turning up, which you can then use to through the speaker itself, but it's not brilliant, the speaker, to be fair. So we'll go back to the home, and then you've got audio, Android Cast, and different audios, and your settings on there. So it's a nice piece of kit, to be fair. Now if I go get another phone, I go and pinch Claire's phone for a minute and then see if we can show you how to set up the CarPlay on it. Okay, so we've roped Claire into the job. We're gonna use her phone because I need my phone for filming, and Claire's doing some filming for me. So thank you, Mrs. Dave. So here we are, we're all switched on now. So set up CarPlay. So we need to go into settings, wherever it is on Claire's phone. Where's your settings? Other way. Ah, there. Okay. Into Bluetooth. Turn Bluetooth on. And devices. So that's the device there. You can actually rename the device on there if you want to. So set up the device. Pair. Allow. And connect. And now it should be on CarPlay. Oh, enable Siri. Okay, got to go back to enable Siri. Where's Siri?
The colours of the sky.
There we go. So you can see on the screen now we are connected to Claire's phone, and you can then use it to phone people. You can use it for navigation, for music. There's all sorts of options on there, and of course you can connect many phones to it. So we'll disconnect Claire's phone from it now. Go back to Bluetooth. Forget. And there we go. Easy as that. Really simple, nice and straightforward to set it up on the CarPlay, and the Android, I guess, will be very similar. Confirm, swap to Android mode. Unfortunately, I don't have an Android phone to check it out on, but you can see that all information is on the screen. It's the same sort of process, I would imagine. Okay, so that's all set up and running, and be interesting to see how I get on with that nice little bit of kit in the MX-5 when I'm using it back as a daily driver. Be really handy, the screen, because you can cast your sat nav to it, Google Maps. So that's gonna be nice to have a nice tidy size screen to see that, instead of a little phone bracket which is always bouncing around all over the place. So I'll keep you posted on how we get on with that. See you on the next one.